lie. 8 huge lies about London nobody talk about. This one caught my eye. Lies about London that nobody's talking about, that nobody's trying to clear up. That's interesting about. That's interesting about. That's interesting. I'm getting this one from She Runs the World, link in the description below. Please go over and show her some love. So let's find out these 8 huge lies about London that nobody talks about. All right? Welcome, welcome, one and all. Thank you for being here with your girl. Mwah, 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 mwah. I've missed you guys dearly. All right, with that said, let's dive into this video because you all know that I'm in love with the UK, don't it? So I want to hear all these lies that people don't talk about. Here it goes.
London, the city of red buses, rainy skies, and royal drama. Millions dream of visiting, living, or even moving here just like I did, which is why I packed up my life in the US and moved here almost 2 years ago. But what if I told you you've been lied to?
Okay.
Yep. Today I'm exposing 8 huge lies about London that nobody talks about. So let's dive in. Let's start with the most repeated myth that London is a non-stop rainy nightmare. This is one of the biggest exaggerations in modern tourism. While the city is often gray, cloudy, overcast, it actually doesn't rain nearly as much as people believe. When you compare the average annual rainfall to cities like Rome, New York, and even Miami, they get way more rainfall than London does. The main difference is that in those places, the rain comes in short, heavy bursts. London's drizzle is gentler, but it does seem to hang around a little bit longer. But it's the gloom that messes with people. And after living here for almost 2 years, I will say that there has never been any intense rainstorms here, especially compared to when I used to live in Vietnam or Florida. It's always just like a light drizzle. Nothing major, but again, the weather is more gray and cloudy on a daily basis rather than rainy. So no, you don't need an umbrella every day in London, but you probably want to keep a compact one in your bag just in case it randomly starts to drizzle on you. But it's less about the downpour and more about being prepared for weather mood swings, because the UK in general has insane weather mood swings. The next lie is that
I'm glad she spoke about that because I've heard that a lot. It's always raining. It's raining constantly. It's gloomy. It's always cloudy. It's just, you don't enjoy much. You can't enjoy the outdoor as much in London. I've always heard that. So I'm glad she's clearing that up. And to be frank, she's like, listen, you get more rainfall in New York than it falls here. It's sporadic. It just drizzle. It lasts a little longer, more than how in other places it will fall and then it's short, but there's a longer drizzle. But I'm like, just dress for the weather. But because they have that little cloudiness, it looks like, oh, it's such a gloomy old day. Nobody wants to go out, and that gives London a bad impression. Like a lot of people stay away from London. So I'm glad she just cleared that up. Let's hear number 2.
London is one cohesive city with a single identity, but the reality is that London is more like a federation of mini cities, each with its own vibe, culture, and even dialect. It's made up of 32 boroughs, and the difference between them can be absolutely wild. Take Hackney and Hampstead. In Hackney, you'll find edgy art, vintage shops, underground music venues, and in Hampstead, leafy streets, £5 million townhouses, and quiet cafes serving matcha lattes. Same city, totally different universes, and they're right next to each other. Not only does the vibe change from borough to borough, but even in the direction of London. Like if you compare East London to West London, which is obviously dozens of boroughs in each, it's completely different. People say East London is more trendy, more hipster, while West London is more posh. I've only ever lived in West London, and I will agree with that. I personally prefer it over here. I think it's way nicer and way cleaner, and as soon as I get to East London, it feels completely different. And my first year living in London, I lived in Hammersmith, which is in Zone 2, and now I live a lot further out in Zone 5, and just between these 2 boroughs that I've lived in, it's a completely different feel. Like it feels like totally different cities, and this patchwork nature is what gives London its soul, but it also means that your experience of the city will heavily depend on where you stay or where you live. So no, there's no such thing as the London experience. There's your London experience based on where you're at. Here's a lie that scares a lot of people.
So that's a big one. And And I think that should be common sense with anybody when they travel, or you're a tourist. It's like this borough and another. There's so many different boroughs, like she pointed out. And it's like here in the US, there's so many different cities within one state. And then when you get to certain city, they totally act different, and look different. The atmosphere is just different from the next city over, and they're right beside each other. So I can see where she said, when one side is posh, one side is nicer, one side is much cleaner than the other side. You understand me? And the accent can differ from one place to the next. So to me, there's no way you're gonna say London is just one big old place and it's all. And not only that, the diversity between all of that should tell you that it's going to be different. It's like people saying, yeah, you guys get what I'm saying. So I think that is left up to narrow-minded people to think that everybody in London acts, behave the same, and you get the same experience. So if you go to London, it's your experience, and that makes a lot of sense.
People off the idea that only the rich can survive in London. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. London is extremely expensive. I've talked about just how expensive it is in my cost of living in London video and a few others, but it's not exclusively for millionaires. Yes, rent in places like Kensington, Chelsea, and Notting Hill are just ridiculous, but there are dozens of outer boroughs and up-and-coming neighborhoods where housing is far more reasonable. One of the best things about London is its expansive public transportation system, so you can easily live further out in zones 4 through 9 and get something way more affordable and still get to the city center pretty quick. For example, like I just mentioned, I now live in zone 5, but I can still hop on a train to Waterloo Station, which is right next to the London Eye. So basically as central as it gets in London, and it only takes 23 minutes. So if you're thinking of moving here, know that yes, it is expensive, don't get me wrong, but it is manageable if you take things into consideration. And for both people thinking of moving here or just visiting, it's good to know how much of London life is free. The museums, art galleries, markets, parks, and endless cultural events. You can live a rich cultural life in London without having a rich bank account. It just takes some smart budgeting and knowing where to look. Now, this next one.
See, that right there is key. Do your research, locked in with locals, knowing where to look, and budgeting properly, period, when you're traveling. Because I get where she's coming from, because I've always heard that London is super, super expensive. So you have to budget accordingly to what your desire is. Which, for me, I'm like, yeah, I'll get me a tour guide so it can help to navigate. And I wouldn't stay in London itself because it's going to cost you. I'm not shopping in London either because it's going to cost you. You go on the outskirts, like she said, she's in Barrow 5 and it works out. You hop on a train and you get where you want to be in a short space of time to enjoy all of that as well. So that in itself is just amazing as well.
Might seem contradictory to my last point, but hear me out. Line number 4 is that the tube is clean and efficient. The tube map is a work of art. The actual experience of riding the tube, not so much. People love to praise London's public transportation system, and yes, it is extensive and it's iconic. You can literally get anywhere within the 9 zones of London without needing a car. It's amazing. But awesome. Is it clean and efficient? That's a stretch. No. During rush hour, it turns into a sardine can, and the central line in summer is basically a massive oven with zero airflow. And don't even get me started on delays, signal failures, or weekend engineering works. Ask any local, the phrase good service on all lines is basically mythical. With that being said, it's still one of the best systems in the world, purely based on coverage and frequency. But if you come expecting the tube to feel like this futuristic subway dream, please prepare for reality. Wear deodorant, bring water, and whatever you do, stand on the right. Line number 5 is that the food is bad.
Okay, that's a big one because that's the first time I've heard that. I've heard that it's amazing. It's top notch. It's the best in the world when it comes onto the tube. But I've never heard that it was dirty, and I never heard that the delays is an issue, and I've never heard that when it comes on to rush hour, you're like packed like sardine. I did not get that impression. That was never stated. I'm expecting to come, like people waiting in line to get on the queue because on the queue because I know how you guys are when you come onto the queue. So that's a shocker, like literal shocker hearing her describe it that way. Yes, the consistent getting access and all of that, the affordability is there, but she's saying no, it's not all that it cracked up to be when it comes to getting on and it gets smelly and clean. Is that true? Is she right on that one? I want you guys to let me know that in the comment section, guys. Please. Because I want to know, because I've never heard that before. Okay, guys, I started this video in the broad daylight, but you don't know. That's how it is when you have kids. Pick up kids from school. Had to pick up the kiddos from school, got them home, dinner. Everybody's all off the bed except for one. Sean's still doing some work. So that's it. So I'm like, you know what? Let's finish up this video that I started with you guys. And thank you for being patient with your girl. But I'm like, all right. So where we left off, I was like, I've never heard anything like that before when it comes on to that your tube is not clean and you're packing like sardine when it come on to rush hour time. This is my first time hearing that. So that to me was a shocker. All right, so we're going to move on next to the food. Here goes.
I mean, yeah, traditional British dishes food is bad. I mean, yeah, traditional British dishes like boiled veg and meat pies have a bland reputation, and in general, classic British dishes aren't the most flavorful when you compare them to other cuisines around the world, but London's food scene is one of the best in the world. It's literally a global food capital. You've got over 70 Michelin-starred restaurants, street food from every continent, and some of the best international cuisine outside of its home countries. Head to Brixton for Caribbean jerk chicken, Brick Lane for unbeatable curries, Camden for Korean bao and Venezuelan arepas. London isn't just a place to eat British food, it's where cultures collide on a plate. So don't knock it until you've had a proper Sunday roast or full English breakfast either. Lie number 6 is that...
So here we go. When she said jerk chicken, I'm like, okay. Because she was like the best in the world. I said, how dare you, Jamaican. Jamaican food is the best of the best and none can compete. But when she throw that jerk chicken in there, I'm like, okay. But I know that London is a melting pot for all different cultures. So of course it's gonna be infused in the food. So yeah, I believe that 100%. But guess what? You've always heard that the food is a blah. It's not seasoned. They don't have not much taste to it. It's just bland and it tastes bad. But from what I've seen so far, and with my eyes, and what I've heard so far, and from a regular schmegglers day one city pies that are on here, they're like, oh, you gotta come here and experience it for yourself. And I believe that 100%. And I've seen a lot of Americans who have traveled to the UK and are like, no, where do they get this idea from that the food is not good? But just to put the icing on the cake, it's a very diverse place when it comes on to culture. So it's gonna be infused in the food. Some kind of fusion taking place. So it's definite. And your Sunday roast, baby. Not to mention the fish and chips. Sorry. I hear it's immaculate. So just delicious. So yeah, I can't wait to come and experience that for myself, indeed. So let's move on to number 6.
London is all about the past. People love to romanticize London as a historical relic, the home of Shakespeare, Queen Victoria, and the Blitz. And yes, of course, you can feel history in the cobblestones and the gorgeous architecture. But to say London is stuck in the past is very inaccurate. Okay. Modern London is a tech hub, an art incubator, a fashion capital. It's constantly reinventing itself. Areas like Shoreditch and King's Cross have been transformed from industrial zones into vibrant creative districts. And London's skyline is one of my my absolute favorites because it's so unique with its mix of ancient churches and traditional architecture with gleaming glass skyscrapers and all kinds of unique shapes and sizes all right next to each other. So yes,
Wow.
visit the Tower of London because it's gorgeous and filled with so much history, but also check out the Tate Modern, Vinegar Yard, or Seven Dials Market so you can see the modernity in London too. The next slide is that London.
Yeah, that I would think that one is definitely a lie when it comes on to they're stuck in the past. It remains that old look and it's all about the history and nothing more. Because over time places change. They have a little modern touch to it. It's something and yeah. But I want to take it all in. Whether it's from the old, whether it's the new, whatever it is, I want to take it all in and experience it for myself.
Is a concrete jungle. From above, London looks like endless rows of buildings, but on the ground, it's surprisingly green. Actually, 47% of Greater London is green space, which is one of the highest among major world cities. You've got massive parks like Hyde Park, Regent's Park, and Richmond Park, which is a true nature escape filled with wild deer roaming around. Then there's Hampstead Heath with rolling meadows and swimming ponds, and local gems like Battersea Park and Victoria Park. Londoners are big on their green spaces. It's how they cope with the chaos. So don't fall for the myth. Bring a picnic blanket, not just your city shoes. Make sure to check out my video of the best parks in London so you can see all the green spaces London has to offer. And the last slide is that Londoners are...
So yeah, I've heard it. It's a concrete jungle. We've heard it time and time again. London is a concrete jungle. There's not much there, mother. Oh, love you. Good night.
Good night.
I'll come down and say good night properly. Okay. It's just a concrete jungle. There's not much green space. But I was surprised when she said 47% of green space. That's a lot for a city. That is a lot. And when she showed Hyde Park and all this, I'm like, wow, the rolling green space. It looks amazing. It just so. Being underground, yeah, above you can see all, it's like building all over, but yeah, walking around, doing some foot travel, you can definitely see the difference. And I love that because you need an escape from all of those buildings as well. So yeah, that's a new one to me. I like that. She's like, look, we have parks here. It's not all concrete jungle. There's a lot to enjoy in the outdoors as well while you're in London. So thank you for that one.
Rude and cold. Do they look grumpy on the tube? Sure. Do they avoid small talk like the plague? Absolutely. But are they actually rude?
No.
Londoners are more private than impolite. It's a fast-paced, busy city. People are in a rush, heads down, earphones on. But if you are lost or you ask a question politely, most Londoners will go out of their way to help you. That's one of the culture shocks I did talk about in my first video when I first moved here. And I gave this example from one of my friends who's a recruiter, so he's constantly talking to people all over the world. And he says every time he is interviewing British people and he asks, how are you? They just say, fine, thanks. But if he asks an American, how are you? He'll actually get a detailed answer about how their weekend was or different things going on in their life. And he thought it was odd at first because people around here aren't used to just opening up to strangers or getting involved in a lot of small talk. So that's why Americans, or just some people in general who are used to having small talk with strangers or just being a little more interactive with people around them, can feel like people are cold and rude here in London. But just know it's not a place where people randomly strike up conversations in public. It's not rude. So just respect the flow, mind the queue, and never block the left side of the escalator and you'll do just fine. So there you go. 8 huge lies about London, totally exposed. The real London is layered, complex, a little chaotic, and full of surprises. It's not the city of cliches, it's the city that smashes them.
Okay.
If any of these surprised you, hit that like button, and if you've got your own London myths or experiences, please drop them in the comments. I'd love to read them. Now let's take a look at my 3-day London itinerary so you can plan the perfect trip here.
Nice. I enjoy this video. Yes, that's a big one. You've always heard that they're cold, they don't really talk much, they're gloomy, you don't get much from people in the UK in general, not just in the London area. But then I realized that is not the case from all the videos that I've watched and interacting with you guys here on YouTube itself. on here and privately, I realized, oh, they are a lovely set of people, and I love you guys to the max. No going around that. I just love you're bubbly in my eyes. You see bubbly and just you're blunt, and that's okay. That's just who you are, and I like that. So I have any on the list shocked me? Yes, the one with the tube, like I said, it messy and it's packed like a sardine during rush hour and all of that, and it's not as clean and all of that. Yeah, that one caught me off guard. I'm like, I've never heard that before. And when it come on to the green space in London, that was a shocker to me. I didn't realize you guys had so many parks and so many outdoor space within London itself. So that for me, I was like, oh, okay. That one. I'm trying, guys, I started this video this morning. So if I can't remember the other part, the food, that's not a shock. I've heard this so many times that the food and the people is snobby and but I know those are lie because I have experience with just talking to you guys on here, like I said before, and just talking in the comment section, the way that you guys are, the way you make me laugh, and I just love who you are as a people. And either way, left, right, and the rain, I've heard that before. You know, you understand? So some of the things I've heard, but like I said, a few of them I've never. I was unaware. So, with that said, it's your island girl. I'm about to wrap this one up. Gotta go down and say goodnight to my Shawnee. The others are already sleeping. It's what? 17 minutes after 10 p.m. here. Love you guys to the max. Be good, be kind, be safe out there. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see more like these, let me know in the comment section. You can recommend whatever you like me to check out in the comment section below. What else? What else? Don't forget to go over and show She Runs the World some love. Tell her the Island Girl sent you. I think that's it. Oh, if you'd like to become a member, link in the description below, or you hit that join button and you see all the exclusive perks that are offered. And your girl is back like a snack attack. Videos are coming. All right, I think that's it. I'm signing out. Love you guys. Bye.